Oh, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Neil.
Hey, Zach, thanks for coming. Down.
Thanks for thinking I'm interesting enough to be on this show. So
Everyone's interesting enough.
Everyone is interesting.
Everyone's got a good story, I believe. We're gonna find one anyway.
Yeah. There's definitely someone there. Like you're on really. We found out about you because you like running.
yeah, I know it's weird. Not many people do like running.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like running all the time, but sometimes I like running.
How'd you get into it? Like,
I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like always chubby as like footy player. I never really liked running. I used to hate training because I was always bigger than everyone, and I was just like it was a struggle. But I don't know. I just found running like a couple of years ago when I was just in a bit of a shit headspace. I was going for a bit of a shitty breakup at the time, and yeah, I don't know. I just needed something like some bit of direction or something like that, and I was just a bit stuck in life. Like I didn't really know what I wanted
So
to
you
do.
just wanted to get out the house or something like that? You're like, I just
Yeah, a
don't
little
know.
bit. It was my first relationship ever, and it was ending, and it was just
That's always the worst
Yeah, it
and
was-
the best.
yeah,
all right.
You're never as in love as much as you were the first
time.
you know,
Yeah.
like-
yeah, I agree with that. But I was just really stuck, and I didn't know what to do. And then I wasn't eating that much at the same time, so I was losing weight as well. Grew out of that little chubby stage when I was a kid, but yeah, I was just put on it was only 1 or 2 or 3 kilos that I'd put on during the relationship, but I'd lost that because I wasn't eating. And I fucking love eating so much, so bad. That's probably one of the things I want to change. But yeah, I'd love to eat so much. And I wasn't eating at the time. I didn't feel like it, so I'd lost weight. And then I was like, I want to try and keep this off. And at the time, I was going for really long walks just to clear my head or whatever. And then I'm like, how do I keep this weight off without once my appetite started to come back? And then I'm like, I could just go for really long walks. And then I'm like, this takes 2-hour walks is a long time. The amount of calories I could burn on a 2-hour walk, I could do on a half an hour run. And then I just started running every day nearly, pretty much. I just started out small, and then there was a local race that me and Mum had signed up for. Probably
Do you remember what one it was?
it was a little Red Cross one or something.
Okay,
It was
5Ks or something?
9. They had a 5 and they had a 9. Mum done the 5, I done the 9. They had a half marathon as well, but
Jeez.
yeah, I just signed up for the 9. And yeah, I done that, and when I finished, it just felt it was just a really good feeling, a bit of an accomplishment. And I'd come 10th in the race because it was full of old guys and little kids and stuff like that. So
That's a good achievement.
yeah, I was still happy with the 10K because I never really ran. I'd run a little bit in high school when I got taller and a little bit skinnier, and I'd done a cross country one time, and I liked it, but I never really liked it that much. And then after that 10K, I just progressed from just a steam train, just rolled on after that, and it was all right, what's next? The 10K, and then the half marathon, and the marathon, and then the 100, and then it's a couple of months going to be even further than that, and then after that,
Fucking 100 Ks, man. That is insane.
Yeah, it's a bit stupid, but yeah, just progress.
You just
from
want to
there.
conquer it. Is that your mindset that you go into these races?
Yeah, it's just as soon as I finish, I'm what's next? I need something bigger every time, and it feels good for a couple of seconds as soon as you cross the finish line, but after that, it's all right, well, I need this feeling again. It needs to be something bigger. I don't know. I can't stop, and it's just progress to this now, and I don't know where the end line. I don't know where the finish line actually is with my life now. So,
Did you find someone to train you? Or did
I
you
actually signed up
start
with a
running?
coach for the first time today.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wow.
Who's that?
He's a guy from Sydney. It's the Distance Collective. So yeah, he's from Sydney and stuff. So it's all going to be online because obviously it's pretty
COVID.
far away. And they do have training sessions up there and stuff, but I'll just do my own stuff down here. So
Yeah.
but yeah, today's the first day I've actually had a coach. So
Mad.
Yeah.
What are the for a runner? What are they trying What are they coaching you with?
Yeah,
because a lot of people just think running.
Yeah.
Anyone can fucking
We
run.
were just discussing this before you arrived about because I've like occasionally I might run. Well, I haven't done it in years. Actually, the story I did 10Ks once, kind of the same thing. I was on a split from work and all that, and like I'm going to run. I did 10Ks, nothing, and I ended up in hospital that night. I twisted one of my testicles or something like that, and
How the fuck did you twist your testicles running?
yeah, they said, "You sure it's from running?" I'm like, "Fuck, I think so."
Maybe I need to see your running style.
Yeah, it was
Like
weird,
a
man.
goose stepping.
Yeah, wobble. Didn't have undies on.
Oh,
Down on
shit.
my knees. And yeah, so that was it. That was the end of my running career. It didn't last very long. And a friend of mine, she was running at the time. She goes, heel toe. She goes, remember, because I always hated running. Like I like short distances, but long distances, I just
Hang on,
never
when
enjoyed them.
is this though? The 80s or?
No, definitely not. No, this is when I had the bowling club, so it would have been.
Oh,
I don't know, noughties, like 2007 or something like that.
fucking hell.
And yeah, do you concentrate on your breathing? There's a couple of things I want to ask. So when you're running that long, is it?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about the breathing, but it's just something that like you just get in the flow of it and you just like feel it. But one thing I've been trying to do lately is I heard that like when you breathe through your nose, it like sends like different endorphins for your body and like somehow it calms you down.
Yeah.
We were
like,
just discussing
yeah,
that as
Yeah,
well.
like nose breathing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's something I try and do.
Yeah. So have you been just like breathing through the mouth for the?
Yeah, I just do like
Just
depends
whatever.
how hard you're running. Like if you're running at a certain pace, you're going to be breathing through your mouth because it's a bit harder. But like I try and do all my easy running, like which is pretty much 80% of my week of running is easy. Like so I'll be just trying to breathe through my nose and like there's a thing in running called conversational pace where if you can run at like a conversational pace with someone next to you and you just can have a conversation while you're running, that's like when you're in the right zone. So that's something that people try and practice as well, which is pretty similar to nose breathing as well. Like you can just be, if you're breathing through your nose, you can have a conversation.
Yeah, I've heard like around like a heart. What do you do? It's like 180 and then you minus your age from that 180 beats per minute, something like that, is it?
Yeah, you minus your age off your highest amount of beats, which is like usually like, I think mine was like 200. So if you're at 180, it's like, well, you minus your age to like 75. That's what you should be at. But I don't know, it's a bit hard. Like, yeah, there's a lot of different like people. There's a lot of so much different like things that you can do. But yeah,
like
it's
different
hard.
ways.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, some people like subscribe to like that type of training or like this type of training. But yeah, I don't know. If you just go out and run, you're gonna be sweet.
Dude, I ran like a couple of days ago and I was fucking shit at it.
Yeah,
I ran.
It takes time, 100%.
Yeah, I used to run about 2 or 3 years ago. I was running all the time, but only like 5Ks.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of days ago I went for a run and I was trying the nose breathing. Fuck man, I only ran about 700 meters.
Yeah, well,
and that was it.
Probably have to walk to start with because there's one called the methadone, like the methadone method, where you should be like if your heart rate gets over a certain amount, you got to walk and like you want to stay in like zone 2. Like there's 5 different zones. Zone 1's like us, we're being zone 1 right now. Zone 2 is like a walk, brisk run, and then zone 5's all the way up to sprinting, like as fast as you can. So they like want to do nearly all their training in zone 2, and like if you got a heart rate monitor on, if it goes above zone 2, you got to like start walking and get it down below, and it takes ages.
What's the idea of that?
Well, they just think that like that's where you make the most gains is in zone 2, but
I've been reading the Goggins audiobook actually, so I'm listening to it.
yeah,
but he
that
That's
changed
very
my life, that
un-Goggins.
book.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he trains in zone 2.
Yeah.
He was saying, and he goes, "That's my ultimate fat burning cardio level."
Yeah, well, they reckon you burn, instead of burning the glycogen in your muscles, like from carbohydrates that you eat, you're burning fat in like zone 2. But
Really?
yeah, apparently
Okay.
that's what they say.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's not really like, because as we were growing up, it was all about like thrashing yourself. You had to like push beyond and that.
That's why no one likes running, because they think you got to go out and flog yourself. But
Yeah.
you don't. Like most of your stuff should be slow and easy. Like you shouldn't be a sprint every time.
Yeah.
It should never be a sprint. Like it should be 20% maybe sprinting, 80% easy.
What are you running like? Do you do timed 1K averages or?
Yeah, I'll do interval like repeats. Like I usually do mine at 800 meters, and then I'll just do them at like 5K pace, and then have like a 1 minute rest or 1 minute float. Like float's just like instead of like you do your interval and then you'll float like a bit slower running instead of like dead stop. Some people like do a dead stop or like do a walking recovery, or a float recovery is where you like run through and then you do your next interval. So that's usually what I do. But yeah, there's heaps. I can do fartleks and intervals and tempo runs or hills even. There's heaps of different ways you can get faster. But yeah, I will do 1K repeats every now and again, yeah. 1K is a good distance, I think, to do repeats at.
Yeah, 1K is probably my max.
Yeah.
Well, I did 1,700 the other day, and I was fucking cooked.
Yeah, you're probably going too hard for sure.
Oh, 100%. I looked at my heart rate thing, like, because I just got a shitty Apple Watch. You know?
The wrist-based heart rates aren't that accurate, but like even on the good Garmin's, you need the chest strap ones.
Okay.
Yeah, they're usually
I wasn't following it too bad, but there's this slight hill, and I looked at my thing, it was like 187. I was like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, hills are another game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's good. Like hill repeats, like get you so fit. Like even just walking uphill gets you fit for running. Like it's crazy.
Well, we went to Mount Kera here, and last year, no, not during COVID. Must be in the year before. I was like, right, I'm going up the hill every day, and even just getting up to the Angel, which is like a 7-minute walk. It's it's pretty steep, and you're busting a sweat, and fuck, you felt good, and like probably 6 weeks into it, man, I was just straight up the top, no issue, man. I was getting quite fit, and then I'm like, I might start running, and I would kind of try and jog up there, but mainly walk and stuff, and then I'd run down. And I liked running down; it was great, and I was going really fast, and I thought I was fucking, I don't know, who's Carl Lewis or some shit. And I fucking hit this, and I hit this route one day on the way down, man, and I didn't have time to put my hands out in front of my face, and I landed on this root that was coming out under this tree on my chest, and I broke like 2 or 3 ribs.
Is that how you twisted your nut?
Yeah, it was the second time I fucking ran, actually.
Oh, different route.
And so that was it. I'm like, fuck this. This is definitely it for me. I'm not meant to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But it was quite enjoyable. But the hill stuff was great, man. It didn't take very long to get all right.
There's nothing better for you than walking up a hill. Like you get the cardio and you get like the leg strength from it as well, and it's like it's a proper workout. There's nothing better for you than walking up a hill.
You should.
Man, this COVID, well, not that we're in COVID lockdown, but if we go into COVID lockdown coming up,
I reckon it's going to happen for sure.
It'll probably happen. I can guarantee that I'm going to eat way too much shit and not do my Wim Hof breathing and all that, and just let it all fucking go and put on 5 kilos.
Have you tried any Wim Hof?
Oh, I love getting in the cold water, but I haven't like actually read his stuff or anything. I do want, like, some of my mates are into it, and I can definitely see the benefits from it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's amazing stuff.
I downloaded it today. I did the 3. I didn't realise you had to hold your breath, but what's it? Forced breathing, is it called? What's the?
Yeah, well, just full breathing, and then you expel not everything. Just basically, it's almost like hyperventilation, but you're not, because it's really deep breaths rather than lots of short ones.
Yeah.
Or he does one with short breaths and that as well. But yeah, 30 massive deep breaths out really quickly, but then you got to hold your breath after that.
Really, really relaxed, and like you could feel things. He's like, there's going to be contractions, like with his accent and shit. And he's like, don't worry. Like,
I'll definitely have to get
you
into
warm
that.
up, man, and like after because I do it every morning. And like some mornings it's moist and freezing cold at the moment, and I don't want a cold shower. I'm like, fuck, this is awful. But after you do your breathing, your body actually gets hot.
Yeah.
And you actually need to go do your jumping in cold shower. And I always think, because he's got this thing, there's power in the cold, there's power in the cold. And I'm in the shower and it's fucking freezing, and I'm about to turn the thing on. I'm just like, there's power in the cold, motherfucker. Blast it. My toothbrush in my mouth. But it's good, man, because no matter how cold it is outside, when you're in a cold shower, it's fucking colder. So when you hop outside that shower, it's balmy, man.
Yeah, I'd heard a lot about Wim Hof before actually getting the app, because I never could trust a guy with a mad comb over like that.
No. Well, you said he grew it back. It's not. He was bald.
Yeah, his hair's actually coming
back
from all the breathing.
He's come out now, said he'll cure COVID and all that shit. Probably fucking would.
He probably will.
Never know.
Yeah, we did this thing where they injected him with E. coli. And he, like there's 6,000 other people have done it, and they've all been vomiting and diarrhea. He didn't. He just said, okay, is it in? He goes, yeah, it's in. He goes, right, breathing. And they said, you're just a genetic freak. And he goes, well, give me 12 nobodies, I'll train them in 2 weeks. Gave him 12 nobodies, trained them in 2 weeks. They injected him with E. coli. None of them vomited.
Fucking hell.
So the shit actually works.
So there's a guy in that, I'm reading this book called Breath from James Nestor. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that book.
Yeah, he was on Rogan a while ago. He was the nose breathing guy. And there's a part in there where there's a guy back in the 50s or 30s, and he was a choir kind of. He taught people how to sing, but he had these fucked up ways of like getting people to breathe properly to sing, and he started like meddling into medicine and shit like that. You know, saying his thing will cure fucking everyone. So this
really? Sounds interesting. Sounds a bit Wim Hofy.
It is. That's where it kind of reminded me. But he ended up getting some doctors got a hold of him, and they had all these patients with emphysema.
Oh yeah, almost lung cancer
like
type.
Fucked up from like the worst, you know, to even can't even get out of bed.
Yeah,
and he was saying after 6 months there was improvements among all of them. But when he died, like he kind of took what he knew, and he didn't share it with anyone else.
Well, I think there's sadhus now over in India. They've been like that's where Wim Hof got it from. Was all the breathing techniques? Was it pranayama, yoga, and stuff like that? That's all. They're all yogic breathing techniques, and he's just kind of taken them over and maybe improved on them. Actually, seen him one where he's walking. He went up Everest in his fucking shorts and
I did
no shoes and shit like that. You know,
not to the top, I don't think. But.
Did he make it to the top? I think he might have put.
You need oxygen because there's not enough oxygen.
No, some
up there.
dude's done it with nothing.
Yeah,
crazy fucking Swedish guy.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
that's one of my lifetime goals is to climb Everest without oxygen.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of my probably the top of my list of things. Like more people have been to space than have been to the top of Everest with no oxygen before. So
yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking hard to do. Like,
are you into climbing?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I started running as well. Really, it's like obviously we don't have many mountains around here, so the best way to get fit for climbing mountains is to run, and like ultra running is like the perfect segue into climbing and doing like long days in the mountains and stuff. Like I moved to New Zealand. Started 2019 just so I could climb mountains and then come back.
Which ones did you do over there?
Like not any like significant ones over there because like they're like real mountains over there, so I didn't want to go out.
I reckon Mount used to be called Mount Cook. I can't remember.
Yeah, Mount Cook.
Yeah, that's the same height as Everest. From
really?
Yeah, that's Hillary did his. I'll explain in a sec. Hillary did his training to beat Everest because it's Himalayas is on a plateau. So if you fuck the plateau off and you just said Everest, it's roughly the same. Evidently, someone will check and probably call me a dickhead. But evidently it's roughly the same height. Yeah. Once you get to base camp or some shit, it's fucking the same.
Yeah, well, Everest to the top from sea level is 8,848 meters, but from base camp it's only about 4Ks difference between there and there.
Yeah.
And Mount Cook is, it's a pretty big mountain. It's not like as big as elevation gain as you get from base camp to the top, but it's still like a solid mountain. Like I done a mountaineering course like on the back of Mount Cook up on the Tasman Saddle up there. So
nice.
Yeah, Mount Cook was there the whole time. It's so big.
That's beautiful.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, a mate of mine used to do the heli skiing and that on it.
We got a heli in there.
Where's Mount Cook?
Middle of the South Island.
Yeah, like probably in between Wanaka and Christchurch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, about halfway.
Amazing place.
Over the lake. And you just
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's insane. Like
we drove from Queenstown to. What's the other airport, the major one?
The Christchurch, probably.
Probably Christchurch, yeah.
That's the one
it was a long time ago, but yeah, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy up there. Like I spent so much time up there. Even just by myself, I'd go up there.
Were you running then or just climbing?
Yeah, I was running I was doing a little bit of running, like not as much into it as I am now, but like I was just doing some little trail runs here and there when I was over there. And when I first moved to Queenstown, that's when I signed up for my first marathon, so I done the Dunedin Marathon.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. At the end of September 2019. So, yeah.
I lived in Queenstown in 1999. I think 20 years before. Yeah, it's changed a lot since then.
Yeah, I could imagine. It would have been sick back then.
It was sick, man. There was a pub on the lake called Icarts, and it was actually a proper old Kiwi pub.
Yeah, it's still called that now, I think.
Is it?
They still have like a little one there. I've seen that sign for sure.
Oh yeah, well, Icarts used to be a big pub, and I missed it. I went back to Auckland, but Faith No More did their Angel Dust tour, and they ended up coming to Queenstown, getting on the piss, and taking over the local band. Faith No More got up on fucking stage and fucking blasted the windows. And they used to do fucking, whenever there's a good rugby game on, they used to set up a stadium inside, and you climb up in the middle of this pub, and they'd have girls walking around with beers and popcorn and shit like this, and you got a movie screen, which was...
Fuck, we need one of them in Wollongong.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We should do that. Maybe, yeah. So yeah, it was sick. I lived there. Might have been 98 or something like that. And it was great, man. The rents were cheap and everything and that. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
went back in 2000. My oldest boy was born in 2001, and I thought, oh well, might move back to Queenstown. When I got my old job back and all that, or went to, and like I think the Americans had just discovered Hollywood. Oh, Lord of the Rings had happened and all that.
yeah.
And fuck, man, like rents are just it was atrocious
Yeah, I was paying like $230
for a room.
with like 4 of my other mates that live in there as well. Like it was crazy, but we had the best view like over the whole lake. Yeah, I love
was that
Queenstown so much.
by the camp, by the caravan park around there?
No, I was more back towards the airport more, like just before there. Like,
Is that where the bungee is on the way?
no, the bungee, no, that's like all the way out of town now. Yeah,
That's the way we drove. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's on the way to like it's like past Arrowtown on the way to Cromwell or whatever.
It used to be good being in hospitality there because you get to do everything for free. So if you're front of house, you could do all the bungees and all that shit you wanted in that because they want you to sell to the tourists. You know, that's the so you want to do it. You know, shut over jets and all that type of thing.
Yeah, and they give the locals like cheaper discounts as well. So I was like mates with the locals, so I just use their discounts, which is pretty good.
When I was there, there was no shop. There was like a bakery. None of the fancy restaurants in there got there, and I got friendly with the apprentice baker, and he was this big Kiwi bloke, and he was funny as fuck, you know, he's a young drunk idiot all the time. He'd start work at like 2 in the morning or something like that and be drunk because he'd go straight from the nightclub. And then there was a new nightclub open, it's all fancy and all that, and we walk in there, and it's like first or second night opening, and on this beautiful sparkling clean wall was "Go the Baker" like a fucking 100 times. He got a big texter, right? Go the Baker, it was fucking like this. There's only one fucking baker in town, man. So
It wasn't me.
it was fucking Hermie had to scrub the fucking wall. And everything. That was funny.
It's a bit different than that now, but it's
Yeah,
like
it is.
full tourist trap.
Full
there now.
tourist. It's lost
Yeah.
everything now. It might be better now that.
I still love it, but
Yeah, well, it's
I'd
a
like to get
special
over there
place.
again.
Everything's on ley lines and all that. Like you walk up Queenstown Mountain and all that stuff, lay a rock at the top. It's just stunning.
yeah,
Like,
it's so nice. So, yeah, it was the best place to train for a marathon. Like so much scenery everywhere. You just go for runs and not people or whatever. Yeah, it's a lot better than running around the bloody lake here. It's still pretty nice here, but it's not.
Where
Queenstown.
do you train?
Just down home, like near Oak Flats there along
Yeah.
the lake. Yeah, I'll just like run left or right of the lake or.
How long's that track around the lake?
I ran around the whole lake once and I had to make up, like I had to do a marathon that day on my training plan, so I ran around and made a course that was exactly a marathon. But if you ran around the whole lake, it'd be about 37k, I reckon, probably.
Okay. But you can't, can you? Because it stops past Berkeley or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to connect the roads and stuff. But
That's a real shame. They should just finish the bloody thing off.
yeah, I know. It would be like a bit of a tourist attraction
It
if you
would.
could ride
And then
your
you could
bike
actually
around
have
the whole thing.
a road race. They do that in Taupo in New Zealand as well, like around
Yeah.
the lake. It's a
Yeah,
marathon,
wow.
You know?
Yeah.
It'd be a good thing. Get
How,
on.
how far is a marathon?
42.2 Ks.
And a half marathon's
21.1, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, real.
You want to do one?
Yeah.
You're itching for it now.
No.
aren't you?
I'll be happy if I can run 5Ks or 10Ks.
Yeah,
Like-
that's how it starts.
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
and then
but
you'll be addicted to it.
nah. I was always a weightlifting type of guy.
Yeah.
I was never a runner.
Yeah, I was the same as that. Like, I don't want to look like a skinny runner, so I try and hit the gym at least 3-4 times a week. But yeah, it's hard not to look like a skinny runner. But yeah, once you do your first 10k or something, and like you train for it properly, you'll be hooked. Like, there's no better feeling than training for something for ages and then getting to race day. It's like Christmas. It's so good, and especially when you get like the goal that you're going for. But yeah, there's nothing better than that.
So how many have you done now?
I've only ever done one official marathon.
How'd that go? That was in Dunedin. That's another nice place
Yeah.
to run around
But
as well.
but you've done the 100K.
Yeah, I've done
So that's not
200.
classed-
I've done 200Ks. So a marathon is just the 42.2, and then anything over 42.2 is classed as an ultra marathon. So I've
Fucking hell! So you didn't
done
even.
a couple of ultras.
You did one. You did the one marathon.
Yeah,
I
well,
need something bigger than
my,
this.
like I had the goal of doing a sub 3 hour marathon for like since I started running, because that's just like that's the time that everyone goes for. That's when you type in running on YouTube, it's like sub 3.
Yeah.
And like all these articles say that like, oh, sub 3 hour marathon, like only the top 2% of marathoners can do it in under 3 hours, which I don't know how true that was, but I specifically remember seeing that article and being like, oh, that would be a sick goal to work towards, like even if I don't get it my first one. But then the more I got into the training, the more obsessed I got with the 3 hours. and I'm like, I've got to get 3 hours. Like it's all, I just dedicated my whole life to just getting 3 hours. I was working at Queensland Airport, so I had really good hours, like flexible hours. So I'll just go to work, snowboard, and like sub 3 hours. That's all I cared about. Yeah, it was so good. So yeah, that was my first, and I ended up getting that. I ended up getting 256.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, I was so happy with that. Like that was like a perfect day. Like no wind, like just flat, sunny, and I was just like, this is like a dream.
Just feeling good.
Yeah, it was so perfect.
Have you had any like niggles or anything during a race? Or?
Not really, except for my last 100 that I just done a couple of weeks ago. That was, I started to cramp up in that. But other than that, I've been really lucky. Like if you're getting adequate sleep and the right nutrition, like you don't need like all this other stuff. Like ice baths and like Norm-Tec boots and all that stuff does help for sure. But if you're getting enough sleep and eating the right food, then like you're not going to really pull up injured. But yeah, I don't do like crazy amount of miles that some runners will do, because like some people can do like twice the amount that I can do. But yeah, I don't know, if you push it too hard, you're going to get injured. So I don't really want to.
Too hard, too fast.
Yeah, if you increase your mileage by like more than 10% a week, they say you're going to get injured. So I try and do less than what I think I should. But sometimes I do push it too far, and I'll get like little niggles like in my ITB bands or like in my calves or something. But you can kind of back it off and foam roll and stuff, so you can like, you can get out of it like in that way sometimes. But yeah, I've been lucky with injuries. Like I haven't really had anything. I've had one little thing in my foot where I thought I had a stress fracture, but I don't know, I just kept running and just went away. So I was pretty happy. I've heard that you can run through stressies. So
yeah, well, you said that Goggins changed your life. I'm sure you've.
Yeah, like when I did first start running, like Goggins is another guy that come up. Like it's crazy how popular he is now. Like
huge.
I don't want to sound like I'm discovered him or whatever, but I was following him when he had 200,000 followers. Like now he's got like 3.5 million or something like that. And he's just like, he's blown up like exponentially since I first read his book, and it's crazy how many people like love him now. So it's like it's a bit of a cliche to talk about Goggins when you're a runner, but yeah, I've known the guy for ages. And
is he a really good runner?
He's not an amazing runner, but he's just like, he's mentally, like he's just all like mentally there. And yeah, when I first started, like I was listening to podcasts on him, and then I ended up reading his book, and yeah, I listened to his audiobook as well. That's really good, where they like do like the podcast in between
best
chapters
way to do
and
it.
stuff.
It's like he's like, this is like a audio book / radio / podcast.
That's a great idea.
Fucking,
yeah.
He's very motivationally, like he doesn't want to be a motivational speaker, but he does give people motivation, I find.
I don't really like the word motivation. Like that's one thing that he says as well. Like motivation's not always going to be there. Like you need to have the drive.
Yeah.
And like, whereas it did like change my life, because I started to think in that way. It wasn't like that was the sole reason. Like I just looked towards the way he would think and think about things, and like, oh yeah, maybe I'll start thinking like that. And then like I just started to change the way I thought from that. But like that kind of wasn't just the catalyst from that. Like I had other things going on as well. But yeah, I kind of discovered it myself. But he definitely had an impact on it for sure. Yeah, he's just, yeah.
Is that because his tenacity kind of rubs off, do you think?
Yeah, he just like speaks so much truth. Like it sounds cliche, but he just does. Like when people will like be talking about how it's like they've been dealt a bad hand in life, and like someone that has gotten somewhere doesn't deserve it, or like their genetics is the reason why they're there, but it's not. It's like if you just work hard at something, you're gonna get there as well. Yeah. Like it's just hard work. It's like talent. You can go on about talent as much as you want, but hard work beats talent all the time. So
I think that's like the ethos of this, like the next generation, I guess. Like
I thought you were going to say this podcast. Like, no, definitely fucking ain't that.
Saying it. But when I was growing up, like a lot of people were never, like, oh, that guy is that good because he was just lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was no talk of if you train hard enough. Like no one ever said that. They were just like, oh, he's so
That
and
could have
so
been
because he is.
where you grew up in that as well. It's like that
Yeah.
in New Zealand, man. Everyone was just assholes. You try to do anything. That's fucking that
Still
country
like,
trying to do something.
Still
Yeah.
like that now.
Is it?
Yeah, 100%.
Australia, I suppose, is pretty bad for
Yeah,
that.
maybe
as
it's
well.
the Australian way.
Don't
try anything, we'll
you're
fucking
too fucking
thing.
good, don't you? Running 100 k's. Fuck, I got a car.
I've heard that so many
Yeah.
times. Though. Yeah, that's why I kind of find it hard about to talk about stuff because I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm being like cocky or gloating or something like that. Like,
That's a very Australian thing as well, which is a good part of the Australian.
Yeah, it is.
If you're American, you'll be laying on this table naked.
still wearing my medal from like a couple months ago. I do find it hard to talk about sometimes because, I don't know. I get so many messages from people like telling me that I've inspired them and stuff. It's just so
well, that's cool.
crazy.
Great,
Yeah,
But yeah, and fuck all the others. Like, they're idiots.
100%.
But
they're
then
weak.
they might, well, they're idiots at the moment, but then they'll get inspired. Everyone's like kind of like that.
That's right.
Aren't they? And then,
Yeah.
but, it's like I find it with the kids and that. Well, it's completely different, but it's kind of the same with. They don't want to eat something, like they won't try sushi. And you don't force it on them, but you just make them have a tiny little nibble. They can spit it out. 6 months later, that nibble has worked its way into their brain, and they're like, oh, maybe I will have a bite of that. So, I like sushi now. And they find it all the time with the kids, man. I think everyone's like that, like jogging or whatever it may be. If you might give someone shit about something, but I think underneath it all, you're doing it because you want to be doing that.
Yeah. Or people just like to say it's shit because it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing that for? That's
Anything
fucking
worthwhile's
crap.
hard though, isn't it?
That's
Like,
right, yeah.
It's just, for sure. It's just the way it is. If it's, why do it if it's easy?
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't struggle to get there, then it's like it doesn't feel as good. It never does.
I think, especially here in the West, like what you're saying about hard work, you do anything. Well, you can.
Yeah.
Like fucking living in Australia or New Zealand or whatever, there's nothing holding you back, really.
Yeah, 100%.
No matter what.
Yeah, if you're driven enough and you want something bad enough, like pretty like 90% chance you can get it if you really want to. That's what the good thing about running is, like you have to have a little bit of talent, like with your VO2 max and your lactate thresholds or whatever. But if you put in the work, like you can achieve heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't have to be that talented to really get places.
It's it's an attitude more. Like 100 Ks, that's two and a bit marathons. So how did you go from one about 42 Ks to 100? That seems like a ridiculously large
Hang
jump.
on, I think we've missed a whole heap. Like we went from 10. You did the 10Ks with your mum,
Yeah,
and then
that's,
now all of a sudden you're running 100K. So
Yeah.
I think we missed a bit.
yeah, that's probably about 2 years in between there that I didn't speak about. But yeah, after the 10K, I went to my half marathon, and there's another time like in the half marathon is the 1:30 like time bracket, which is something that people strive for as well. And I've done my first one down in Huskisson, and I just signed up for that. I was just like still partying a bit and doing like season. Like I was down the snow for a bit as well. Like I wasn't living down there, but I was down there every weekend. So I wasn't doing like proper training. So I'd signed up for that, just done like my first half, and I was kind of just happy to finish the distance, but I was kind of like, I want to go for that 1:30 as well. And I ended up doing 1:26 in that. So I was, that's what kind of kickstarted me to the sub 3 as well, because obviously 1:30 is half of a sub 3 hour marathon. So I was like, I could do 1:26 in the half, so maybe I can do sub 3. And then, when was that? It was probably October 2018. And then I moved to New Zealand February 2019, then done the marathon September 2019. So that's from like that period, and I'd been doing some like I did do a lot of trail running over in NZ because it's the best way to see you can see trails that people spend all day on. You can see it in an hour and a half. And like so that was one thing that I really was excited for when I got to New Zealand, because I was fit enough to do these big runs and see so much and like get heaps done in a day, whereas like people would have to like do an overnight hike, or I could just do it in the morning, which was good. So so after the marathon, like to be honest, doing that marathon probably was nearly harder than doing the 100. At that pace, like I was redlining the whole way, like like my whole body towards the end of that marathon was like felt like my blood was like toxic or something, like we had venom in it, and like your whole body's like screaming at you to stop, and you just like
Fuck you.
forcing yourself to like get to the finish line. And it's like, the last 8Ks of a marathon, like a hard marathon that you like redlining on is fucking so hard.
So when do you feel like it's like, fuck, this is hard? You know, when you're in around 20Ks or something like that?
Probably
like,
the 32K mark is around about when they call it the wall, and that's when you're like, fuck, this is fucking
I want to
sucks.
stop.
Yeah, it's like it's a bad feeling at the time, but yeah, it's just like the most like profound thing. I don't know. It's,
So you know it's coming.
yeah, you know,
And
it's
all
coming.
the runners know it's there.
Yeah, that's probably why we do it, but because it's just so hard. Like it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like I've lived a pretty sheltered life in Australia. Obviously, like I don't have to go out and find these situations for it to be hard. But yeah, it's still fucking like 32Ks. It's so.
What do you
So
use
hard.
to get through that? Are you just...
I don't know. Just like I've been working so hard to get that, and I'd held myself accountable by telling, like I put it out there to the world that I was like going for this under 3 hours. Like I have to get this today. Like, so I told everyone about it. And I'm like, I didn't want to look like a dickhead. I'm like, I've devoted my life to this. Like, I have to get this today. So that was one thing that helps. But there's a bit of ego in there as well. Like I want to be that hard dude. Like I want to get there. Like, so that's another thing that definitely helps is your ego as well. But I don't.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you don't want to show your ego that much, but it's like an internal ego with yourself. So, but yeah, it's just the best feeling. Like when you push that hard for something and you worked so hard for like months of getting up early and like pissing down rain or snow, and you and then you like get that. It's just like the best feeling in the whole world. So, and I know that like that's how it's gonna feel. So that's another thing that's pushing me, and you're just like trying to shut your brain off the whole time. Just like it's gonna be done.
Are you listening to music? Like, are you in your head? Like when
in that race, I was listening to music, but in the 100, I wasn't listening to that much music. So
you're allowed to take...
yeah, you can. It's like frowned upon kind of, because I don't want you to have. I want you to be alert if there's a car coming, run you over or something. But
Got the beats on.
yeah, some people run with like big headphones on, but I just had like little earphones.
Those skull candy ones or whatever.
Yeah, they're just wireless as well, so
Yeah.
you don't have to have cords or anything.
Yeah.
You can just have your iPhone in your pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, you know it's going to be over soon, so he's like, just suffer now. And then
You could run with goggins in your ears.
yeah, maybe I could probably. I'm kind of at that similar like pace to like some of the stuff he's done in the 100K. So yeah, fuck, one day it'd be pretty cool to do that. I wouldn't want to like. I would want to beat him, but I wouldn't want to be there to compete with him. I'm like, I want to try and beat him, but yeah, maybe one day. Like one of my goals is to do the Badwater 135.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I definitely want to do one day. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get an entry into that race because it's pretty hard to get into. But yeah,
What's the qualification to get in?
I think you just have to
even get
do
looked at?
100 miles in under 24 hours.
What's
so
100 miles?
161K.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I'm doing a 100-miler in 10 weeks. So
whereabouts is that?
Gosford, like
Oh yeah.
it's called the GNW Ultra. Yeah, it's like it used to be a point-to-point course, but they've changed it up this year. So it's like this 6 loops out and back.
Oh, that's a
and
bit of a bugger, isn't it?
it's a bit it's like the second year they've ever done it because it'd be the biggest pain in the ass to do point-to-point race because you got like all the road crossings and stuff. So yeah, he's like they've like changed the course now, but I don't know, like if it's hard, it's going to be hard either way. So
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
yeah, make it even harder.
Be...
Why not? Make it fucking pissing down rain or 40 degrees. I don't care. Might as well make it hard. It's like 100 miles anyway. So
100 miles, that just...
Yeah.
That seems like...
And you
Yeah,
have to. Do you run
Eternity.
Like, yeah, it might be obvious, but you're going to run the whole way. You don't like have a breather and have a drink of water, then keep going.
yeah, there's aid stations and stuff like that. So I think this one, because it's out and back, there's an aid station every 25Ks. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll stop and like get new gels or like refill my bottles and stuff, get more carbs.
Your gel's your food source.
Yeah. So
What's in them?
It's just like sugar and carbohydrates and just like something. Some of them have electrolytes. You can get like non-caffeinated ones and caffeinated ones, but I try to keep the caffeinated ones for the end of the race because I don't drink coffee or anything, so I'm not really that used to caffeine. I don't have much Red Bull or anything
Pinging
like
out.
that. Yeah, no, I try and keep that for the end of the race so I can actually feel something. I don't actually get like a feeling from caffeine, but I'm sure it does help. So I just keep them for the end of the race. But yeah, it's just like that's just your fuel source.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But they have like Tailwind and stuff like that. It's like it's like a mixture. You put in water and it's carbohydrates as well. So it's just calories. You want to be having like 200 and something calories an hour pretty much. So that's like 2 gels or like 1 gel and 1 drink pretty much. So you kind of like every half an hour I'm trying to have a gel like the whole time. And I might have some like Red Frogs or something like that, but you don't really feel like eating in like them situations.
Yeah, what's your mouth like? That must be
I don't know. You can't even really feel your mouth.
Oh my god, you pulled it out.
I'm trying to. I was thinking of one. That's the only one I could think of.
Yeah. Well, some people will eat like the back of the pack people will have like burgers and like pizza and shit and hot chips. Yeah, burritos and stuff.
Who's the female who won that ultra? She was on Rogan as well.
Oh, but Dowalter, Courtney Dowalter.
Well, that's her, yeah. And she's just like, oh, I eat fucking lollies and all that. Like, he's like, what about your diet? He's like, what diet?
Yeah, what diet?
I fucking eat whatever I want.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap for sure because it's just like...
Well, you're burning that many calories, aren't you? Like,
yeah.
You just constantly chew on it.
Yeah, even like in training, like I'm just like give me everything. Like I eat so much food. Like I don't put on any weight, but like I could lose some weight if I watched it, but yeah, he's just in a deficit the whole time, so he's constantly eating the whole time. But yeah, she's crazy, that chick. She won that race by heaps.
Yeah, I think it was
like 10 hours or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3, but I thought it might not be, but you might be right. But I remember they reckon like because of her being a woman, she's got a higher pain threshold. So
yeah, because of childbirth and stuff like that.
Yeah, they believe that like
it's genetic or something.
They're kind of good at long distance running.
Yeah, they can put up with pain like a bit better than men apparently. Yeah, the gap between men and women in ultra running is a lot closer than most sports, I think, for sure.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of controversy because of the like Laurel Hubbard thing going on, like that
weightlifting chick. That's pretty stupid, I think.
But a lot of scientists are saying that like men and women's legs are similar. So we're genetically built similar in the legs, but our upper body, there's a huge difference. Like men are like, like stronger than women. I haven't said this. This is just what I've heard.
Yeah, I wonder what her story is because it does just seem a bit ridiculous. There must be a reason for it.
Yeah, there must be something else going on.
Was she like a baby or something and had this weird deformity and they had to...
I don't know. Well, if she wants to come on the show, like...
She can come on the show, but... like everyone in the world fucking hates her. So, she like it's a tough spot to be in. And I think... it puts the ladies in a difficult spot because they want to be inclusive, I think, but this is fucking over their own sport. Yeah. Isn't it? Like maybe, well, it wouldn't matter if I wanted to do it because they'll fucking thrash me anyway. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe even he won't work. Oh, no, this isn't working. But, like,
yeah. But I think maybe at a sport like running, you could have a mixed, do you think? Like ultra running, maybe like a mixed pack.
Well, a marathon's just a marathon, isn't it? And if the lady wins the marathon, she won the marathon.
Yeah.
But in the Olympics, it's not, is it?
They have a ladies' award as well. But I'm sure if a lady won, she...
Really? I don't know. I thought they had them separate.
No, they got 2 different medals, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They have 2 separate medals for males and females. But, yeah, in the marathon, it's a bit different, like, between the times because they're still, like, pretty far away from each other. But in ultra running, kind of a new sport, so yeah, I don't know, when you're running for like 3 or 4 days, like the lines kind of get blurred between.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, if a chick wins outright, like heaps of chicks win outright races outright. Like I'm pretty sure a chick won that Big's Backyard outright the other week. Like you just do loops until the last person drops out. Some people run for like 4 days and they're just doing loops with the same loop. Yeah, it's crazy. They have one in Australia starting up soon, pretty much. So that's something I
caught at the end of the movie. It was like last year. I don't know the name of it. You probably know about an Aussie guy, ultra runner, had a really funny way of running or something.
Oh yeah. What's his name? He's heaps famous.
Is he the one that ran in gumboots?
Yeah, maybe. He used to do
Maybe.
the Sydney to Melbourne race, and he
He just destroyed everyone with this
yeah,
funny little...
because he was heaps slow, but everyone would
Like a shuffle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard
Cliffy,
of this.
is it Cliff Young?
Yeah, I
Cliffy
think it
Young,
might
something
be,
like that. Yeah, my mum and dad always talk about him. But yeah, he's like that's like the classic tortoise and hare story. Like he would just like keep pushing, like go slow, and he'd just beat everyone because they'd be sleeping, and he'd just shuffle fast in the night.
So does your running style change from a marathon to an ultra distance? Do you end up just dropping your pace, or you're going to drop your pace?
Dropping your pace.
But so your stride it's a slower stride, or is it a shorter stride, or both?
Yeah, your stride will definitely change. Like in your marathon, like the marathon, I was doing like 4-minute Ks, like per K. So you're like kind of leaning forward.
Yeah,
and
that's motoring, man.
Yeah, this
4 minutes. Okay.
Well, 4-minute mile was the
thing,
limit. That was the thing. That's like an extra
That's
600 meters, but it's still 4 K ain't bad.
That's very far away. That's like a proper sprint doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like.
So you're on your toes, or
we were discussing.
We were talking
this.
about
The heel toe. You're rolling forward, but are you on your toes all the time?
Yeah, no, you don't want to heel strike. That's where you get injured. So that means you're overstepping too far.
She was trying to
she was,
fuck out.
Yeah. she told me that's when I got a twisted ball.
Yeah. If you got the right shoes, you'll be all right landing on your heels.
How does your foot fall? Like,
well, you kind of want to like just picture like if I was to hold you out like that and you were to lean on my hand and then I let go like that, and how you fall is how you want to start running. So you kind of want to be leaning forward and running across the ground. So if you're running forward like that, your forefoot's landing first.
Oh yeah.
And you like you're toeing off.
Yeah.
So instead of like
kind of like a kangaroo.
I've never seen a kangaroo.
They got reversed knees, so you want to get your knee. Like maybe that's what my ball was doing. It was
just run backwards.
Like that. It was.
But yeah, you're kind of bouncing along.
Yeah, you're kind of falling really.
Okay.
Or you're falling and doing little jumps.
So you're on your balls of your feet more than the heel.
Yeah. Usually, but there's still like top marathoners that will land a little bit on their heel as well, but. Yeah, the new shoes they have now are pretty crazy. So, like the energy return you're getting from that is just like crazy.
Is that a bit cheaty? Like, what's her name's suit she wore in the Olympics?
Kathy
Freeman. It's a shame she wore that because she didn't need to. She would have bloody won anyway.
There's a little bit of controversy around these new shoes.
They put springs in them with electric shit and go boing.
Yeah, the foam's like it's got like a carbon fiber plate in them now, and like because Nike bring out this shoe and it just changed the game. Like 3 or 4 years ago, and now every company's trying to copy him. So they put like carbon fiber plates in them, and like this new foam is just like so soft, and you get so much return from it that like when that first come out, they said it increases your marathon time by 4%. That's what they would call it.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they would call the 4%, Vaporfly 4%. And then they bring out these new ones called the next percent, so they reckon it's like 5% difference, but.
It's a bit cheaty, isn't it?
Yeah, I done my first marathon in it. That's so good. Like,
you were what 2:56?
Yeah, so I reckon 4%, so a couple seconds under.
Well, you know, when Nike first bring out the Nike Air Jordans, they were banned in the NBA.
Yeah,
and Nike were paying every time that Jordan wore these shoes, they'd pay the fine.
Yeah. I don't know, Nike, like...
They got some money, so...
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They'd be like, fuck your fucking percentage.
We'll do what we want. Came out. They were amazing. Yeah. Got stock for them. Someone stole his shoes.
Yeah, that was the days getting your shoes stolen.
They were like $160 back in the 80s, for Christ's sake. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I remember a guy that I went to school with, he was right into shoes. He got these fucking ones made, they had like space material in them and shit. He's like $500 for these shoes. What are you doing? Like, we all had fucking flat Converse, you know, like...
Yeah. Those Chuck Taylors, they're the shittest shoe. I like the style of them, but fuck, there's no
they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, no support in them.
Well, if we're going to talk about shoes, man, I've been looking for shoes. I've got size like 13 feet. Can't find fucking shoes anywhere, so I find online, and there's actually a company in Texas. I'm like, Americans don't make anything. This has got to be bullshit. It's got to be coming from China. No, like a week later, I got these fucking shoes. They are awesome. They're like double lined fucking leather. They got like material on the inside, the most comfortable shoes. And they were $100 delivered.
Fuck yeah.
$100 with delivery.
Delivered. Yeah, I just ordered another pair.
definitely not
right.
coming from
And I've
America.
been
Then.
at all the shoe shops in Wollongong, that none of them fit me, and they all feel like chucked. Hey, they're just so cheaply made and shit now, man.
Yeah.
They're not going to survive retail with that type of crap going on. You know.
Hope not.
There must be a town in China called America or something.
Or
Like,
Texas.
sorry, $100.
No,
Delivery.
How dare?
I think the Yanks are on that poor money now that the Chinese
Oh,
are actually
yeah.
shipping all this shit over to America.
Can you make this for us?
Yeah, China's taken over now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We're always into China.
Well, yeah. Well, they got some good runners over there. Man, running the Great Wall, they do a couple of marathons on that, I think. That would be
That
fucking...
Yeah, I've
thing
heard
is,
of that, I think.
that is a hideous climb because I've climbed that fucker, like parts of it, and it ain't easy. Like a lot of the times, yeah, climbing like that, like
Yeah.
Like,
the
like a
steps.
ladder slope.
yeah,
So they got big gaps
yeah,
between them. Oh.
like it's not like built to scale, you know, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
fucked up a lot of areas.
But they put it on top of the fucking mountains.
Yeah,
Like, no
Yeah,
one
it's
was
like a-
ever going to come over the top of the mountain, man.
Yeah,
But-
Genghis Khan was never going through them mountains. I don't know what they were stressing so hard.
Yeah.
well, a lot of it's fucked up, like, and you know, it's too old and it's decrepit
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's...
because they built it over different centuries.
Yeah.
So-
They put corn flour or some shit in the mortar, and that's why it lasted so long. But it's a weird thing, though, because corn comes from South America.
Ooh,
Yeah.
bit of
Bit of strangeness going on
Yeah.
there. Mm.
The old spice route must have been flowing good
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
yeah,
They're building it back
the
up
Silk
again.
Road.
Yeah, the
Silk
Silk
Road.
Road.
It's the Belton Road now initiative. They just got, we just discovered, I was just watching this American economist talking about China have just signed a deal with Turkmenistan. Don't really know, it's next to China. Yeah, you can have it, mate. And Turkmenistan turns out has shitloads of natural gas and oil and coal and shit like that.
Surprise.
Surprise. So ScoMo and his big mouth has just done Australia out of billions
Surprise.
and billions of happy fun times. How do we get onto that? We were talking about shoes and running
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and
The Nike
Kathy
shoes.
Freeman
Yeah.
as well.
ultra marathons.
Yeah.
The shoes are like,
Are they going to put a stop to it, you think?
nah, they're like, it's not really, I don't think it's cheating. It's just like the next technology. Like, it's just a new thing. Like, you can wear them shoes and pull up less sore than what you would in an old pair of Nikes from 2010. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's just like, they've just changed the game. They just
Yeah,
stepped up. And
it's not like you're not really cheating. You're just getting better tools.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
Yeah, but where does it stop?
Well,
tools
taking steroids, I guess.
No, but the tools get better and better. Technology
Yeah.
gets better. Like if they put batteries in them, like the Tour de France, you know, you can't have an electric bike. They're out there. The technology's there, but they're going to
Yeah.
draw the line.
How many
there.
fuckers are there with some really good engineering? that
Someone
they
got caught out
I
with a
think they
little
did.
electric motor
Yeah.
in the wheel or something like that when they first came out. Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Fuck, I
You
would.
know, well, fucking what's the difference in that and being a Lance Armstrong just shooting up?
Yeah.
But then it changes the
Is
name
there
of the
any
game.
steroid use in running?
I don't know. It's,
Surely there's pain, I guess.
I
like
think
the pain
in
relief.
maybe in the big leagues like UTMB, like overseas, that's like the premier race pretty much. Like UTA or UTMB is like, well, UTA in Australia is like our biggest race, and it's the same.
Where's that?
That's in the Blue Mountains. That's the one I just done.
Oh, yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much,
So
We should
they're-
get to that soon, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and then they do another race in France around Mont Blanc. That's like the biggest ultra race there is in the world. It's not the longest, but it's just like the most participated in. And
That
that's
sounds awesome.
yeah, that's on my list as well. I think.
That'd be beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like there's so much elevation gain, but it's crazy. It's like 7,000 meters or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, some
Thin
people
air
take
up there.
some people take like 3 days to finish it, and it's
Yeah.
only 100 miles. Like, I say only 100 miles, but 3 days for 100 miles is a long time.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
around the Mont Blanc, which is like the massive mountain range, it goes through like 4 different countries.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's like
extreme.
that's one of the biggest races. So I'm sure there's probably a bit of doping going on in there, but I don't know. Maybe
There's no
like,
testing, There'd be no testing.
I think there is a little bit of
Is
testing.
there money in the sport once you move up? There's no real money for you at the moment.
Nah, not really. It's more like just in the sponsorships. It's probably where the
Okay.
money's at the moment. But yeah, it's a growing sport. So I think maybe in 20 years there might be good money. But yeah, at the moment it's like
There's
for
no
crazy
fuck
people,
all money.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, that's
Yeah, yeah.
just
where
for the
it's-
love of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I love doing these races in Australia. Like,
Do you have any sponsors?
No.
Well, fucking get on him.
No, I'm not that good.
Doesn't matter.
Not yet,
Well,
anyway.
if you finish
I want
it,
to
you're
get
good,
better.
man. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So there's races in Australia where it's just like for the love of it. Like this 100-miler I'm doing is like it's a couple of people sitting around in tents, just like for
That's
the love of
great,
it. There's
isn't it?
there's no
Yeah.
prize money. You get like a cool little finishing thing, and that's it. Like
great.
what I got for finishing the 100 was like a belt buckle, because if you finish under a certain amount of time, you get like a silver belt buckle, and everyone that finishes after 14 hours gets a bronze one, and then the winner gets a gold one. So yeah. The belt buckle is like everyone wants to get the under 14 hour belt buckle. So that's a pretty cool thing to get when you finish. But yeah, there's probably like, I think the winner got like $3,000 or something like that, and a free race entry, and then maybe like free hotel. Or
Hang on,
something
you
like
got to
that.
pay.
You got to pay to go in the race.
Oh yeah,
That's the prize money at the end for the other lot, isn't it?
it's like $450 as well.
Shit, really?
Yeah,
Proper
well,
money.
that's like the premier race in Australia, but it's the biggest trail race in the southern hemisphere, they say. So yeah, it's not going to be cheap, and all the aid stations are fully stocked with all your gels and bananas and water and tailwind and everything like that. So I can understand why it's so expensive, and it's pretty remote up there. So they've got to like go out into the bush and like set up their stuff, and yeah, it's mostly volunteers, but so
it's not on the road then. It's actually through trails and stuff.
yeah, it's all pretty much fire trails and like single track. So yeah, I don't know, have you been to Katoomba before?
Yeah, Katoomba.
Yeah, well, it starts in Katoomba and then it goes like out into the bush and then comes all the way back, and then you go out into the bush again, and then you come back up past like the Three Sisters and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
Like
pretty
up the
remote.
stairs and that.
Do you run
Yeah.
down into the valley then?
Yeah, it's all up and down the whole thing. Like there's 4,400 meters elevation gain in the whole race. So half of Mount Everest.
100
Pretty much-
Ks of that.
Yeah, 100 and
it's
100 Ks
it's
on top
shit
of
to
that.
fucking walk. It ain't easy to walk.
Yeah, so you're pretty much climbing from base camp to the top of Mount Everest
Yeah.
and doing 100 Ks as well. And trying to dodge the 50K runners.
How are you overtaken on that little...
You can't really. Like they stitched me up with the seating as well. So there's seatings from 1 to 7. It's actually a pretty funny story.
What's the seating? Is that...
So they pick like the seatings from 1 to 7, like groups, and they put you where they think you deserve to be. And I wanted to be in seating 1 because I wanted to try and finish in a certain amount of time, and like the certain amount of time that I wanted to finish with was people in seed 1.
Yeah.
So when I originally signed up for the race in 2019 after the marathon, like they just asked for a marathon time, and they just said, give us your marathon time, we'll put you where you need to be. So I did, and they said I was in group 1. So I'm like, yeah, sweet, I don't have to worry about it. And obviously COVID happened, so they pushed the race back to October last year, and then that got cancelled again. So they just cancelled the whole year. So then I transferred my race over to this year, my entry, and they're like, yeah, you're in start group 1, whatever. I'm like, sweet. And then like there's a deadline that you have to double check your seatings before they print the bibs off, and you can't change it after that.
Yeah.
So I checked it. I'm like, yeah, sweet, still in group 1. And then I checked it 2 weeks before the race, and they put me inside group 2. And I'm like, what's this bullshit? Like out of nowhere, they just randomly changed my seating. So then I emailed them, wasn't getting a reply. So I posted on the Facebook. Like there's a big big Facebook group, and straight away I got a reply from the owner, because he's like getting like all this hate and stuff, and people are like, yeah, they done that to me as well. And I'm like, so what's up with this? And he's like, oh yeah, we reviewed everyone's seatings and we changed them around because we had too many people in start group 1. And they're like,
We need to tell you that, don't they?
yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, you could have told me so I could provide more evidence why I should be in start group 1.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we checked your marathon time and we think that you should be in start group 2 now. And then like I was arguing with the guy on Facebook, and he's like, all right, we'll have a little wager. If you finish in under 14 hours, you have to donate a tree to this certain like New Zealand like non-for-profit organisation thing.
Yeah.
And like they plant a tree, like you donate, they plant a tree. He's like, if you do it in under 14 hours, I'll plant a tree under your name. And then if you go over 14 hours, you plant a tree in my name. Yeah. And he's like, you should take solace in knowing that you're going to be the slowest person in start group 1, but the fastest in start group 2. And I was like, bring it on then.
Wow.
And then after I finished the race, I got all these notifications. All these people had seen it because it was a public forum.
Yeah.
And they were posting like saying, sucked in, he beat you by 2 hours and stuff. Because he's like, you won't do it in under 14 hours. I've done it in 12 hours and 12 minutes. So I beat him by 2 hours. And all these people were posting there saying, sucked in, he smashed it. And the guy was like eating his own words.
What did you come in that? It was was it 1,600 people?
Yeah, 1,600 people. I come like 48th or something like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't really have the race that I had wanted to have that day because I wanted to try and go under 11 hours. But with the way the single track is at the first part of the race, I got stuck behind all of start group 1. They were going slow because it's like there's like a big rock fall a couple of years ago that's like made the track really short in the first 10 Ks. So yeah, start group 1 goes off at 6:30. My start group goes off 7 minutes later. And then like I'm right at the front of start group 2. And then start group 1, like we just run straight up the back of their ass. So I walked and lost like half an hour.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I was so pissed off. But that's what I knew what was going to happen. That's why I was posting on Facebook saying, can I please get changed? And they're like, no, it's too late. And
well, you got ammo for the next one.
Yeah, well, he said, you'll definitely be in start group 1 next year. So yeah, and the weather was, I don't want to make excuses because I simply didn't do the time that I wanted to do. Like, it just wasn't my day. But the weather was like, it was windy as fuck up there and it was like -2 all day. There was a bit of snow and stuff. So like my gels were even freezing in my pockets and stuff like that.
Wow.
What are you running in? Like, for that
I had arm warmers on, which I planned to take off after 10 Ks, but it was like, I ended up having them on all day because it was freezing cold. It was like windy as, and there was like this Arctic blast or something, or polar blast, they were calling it or some shit. So yeah, it was like the windiest and worst weather they've had in like 11 years or something like that.
Fuck. Let's go race.
It was pretty cold. It was crazy. Yeah, it was actually snowing at one point. So yeah, I wanted to go under 11 hours, but yeah, if I went under 11 hours, I would have been in like the top 15 or something like that. But yeah,
what time does it start for that?
6:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
and then like all the different seeds start. Like I think seed 7 starts at like 8:30. So I was going to bed after my race, waking up in the morning, there's still people out there on the race course, like doing the race. It's fucking crazy. Like they're out crazy. Overnight. Like it's insane.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We would have quit.
Yeah, it's like one of my mates as well. He originally had signed up last year with me to do it, and we'd been training for it, and then it got cancelled and stuff. And then, you know, life got in the way. He moved up to Queensland for a bit, and he'd just moved back down. And I'm like, oh, that race is in like this week. And he's like, oh, fuck, I might be around town. I might be able to do it. And he'd done no training whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, hadn't ran for months. And he like, was on the start line and he'd done it.
Fuck, he did the Goggins.
He pulled out at like 70K because he was like shot and the weather was fucked. It was like 11:30 at night. I'd gone home, had a shower, like, try to fucking be human again.
Yeah.
And then, I went and picked him up at 11:30 from like the last aid station, and he pulled out at like 77K, but it's like, so like that's the most impressive thing all day. Off no
that's
training.
Massive.
It's fucking crazy. Like, that takes like some serious mental fortitude to be able to do that off no training.
Were you going through any like painful periods during that 100Ks where you're like, fuck this?
Actually, I was like,
because you said it wasn't your race, like.
Yeah, it was probably like maybe 40 Ks in. Like there's checkpoint 1 and 2, they have no spectators there, so you can't like see your crew or anything like that. It's just like little ones in the bush. And then about 40 Ks in, that's when the first checkpoint was, and I seen my mum, and I was in a bit of a shitty headspace at that time because I was already down on time because I got stuck behind all the start group 1 and stuff. So I was feeling a bit shitty, like I wasn't going to get my time. I was a bit pissed off, and the weather was a bit shitty, and I was just like feeling a bit down. But then, I seen Mum at there, felt a little bit better. But then after aid station 4, it's just a kilometre vertical climb, and it's just so like the steps are just constant steps. And I was starting to cramp up at that point, and I'd never cramped up before in my whole life on any run ever. So. And I didn't even understand why, because I never cramped before, so I don't know why I was even experiencing it.
Do they say that's something to do with salt?
That's what they reckon. And I was like, There's this stuff called cramp ease or something like that, and it was legit like straight vinegar. I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to taste a bit shit, but I didn't expect it to taste that shit. It was like straight vinegar, and that like helped me for about 10 minutes. But I was just constantly like every time I'd do like a big step up a stairs, like my legs would just cramp up and I couldn't walk properly. And then I'd try and start running again, and then the cramps would start. So I was just trying to smash in as much salt as I can, and then it got better. But I had cramps the whole last 60 Ks of that race pretty much.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and it was just, I didn't know what to do because I was like, I'd never cramped before. And then, yeah, I was just trying to smash the water and salt, and yeah, I eventually like come good. Like you just get used to the cramps, and you're trying to change your running style a bit so you don't cramp up. But yeah, you can't feel your legs in the last 20 Ks anyway, so you just keep going. But yeah, the last like 10 Ks of that race is all uphill as well, and it's just like, there's like a big 8 Ks of just straight downhill for like from about the 84 mark to about 90. It's just all downhill, and yeah, you like just get so beat up. Like I've got like
like you'd think coming downhill would be easier, but
no, going downhill hurts so much.
Yeah,
like your quads are just shot, and yeah, like your feet just feel like peg legs, just like you're a pirate or something. There's no legs. Yeah, all my toenails fell off and stuff like that as well.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, because...
Were they falling off in your shoes? Could you feel it?
Yeah, I actually could, because one of my toenails was already fucked anyway from the training, because I'd be doing like 60K training runs like up in the national park and stuff, so it's just all up and down, and like, yeah, legs
like
are,
your feet constantly sliding around in your shoes.
Yeah, they slide into the front of you. Like, you're meant to have shoes that like you don't have much room, but mine, like I've got size 12 and a half feet as well. Like it's hard to find the right size shoe that fits me properly. So my feet will like push into the front, and yeah, your toenails just get fucked.
Taken off.
Yeah, and then at the end of that race, because my toenail was already off, or like it'd been half snapped from a training run before. You're going through like creek crossings as well, so your feet are wet, and like I could feel my toenail just like floating in on top of my toe, and it was just like, yeah, you just got to like accept the pain and just push on and just keep going.
So because you're running in such like diverse terrain, do you have like a specialized boot or a shoe, or like what are you wearing?
Yeah, your trail shoes have got like deep lugs on them, so your normal road running shoe will just have like a bit of grip on the bottom, but these ones are like got deep lugs.
So there's a specialised shoe for that type of running?
Yeah, trail shoes, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And my ones are like Gore-Tex as well, so they're kind of waterproof to an extent, but if you put your whole foot under water, obviously you're not going to be.
It's going to go.
But yeah, they're more solid. They got like gauze stuff on the outside, like toe protection, so you can like kick rocks and stuff and be sweet. And like, yeah, the grip's like really deep on it. It's like a boot nearly, but they're still like light for running as well.
Oh, cool. What do they set you back? They must be expensive then.
You can get entry-level ones that are a bit cheaper, but yeah.
You're doing 100K, you ain't going cheap.
Yeah. Nah.
You're getting
running's one of them things where, like, I don't care how much money I spend on it. Like, it's healthy at the end of the day, so, like, I don't care if I'm spending $200 on shoes. But, yeah, I just keep... Like, actually, ASIC sent me some shoes the other day, which is cool. That's the first free thing I've got from running. So
sponsors.
Yeah, and I go through shoes pretty quickly, so it's good to have like a
I'm sure you fucking go through shoes going out of fashion.
Yeah, I'll probably have to buy like 3 or 4 pairs coming up for this next block, so I'm going to be smashing myself for that.
So what's the next one? The Gosford, is it?
Yeah, GNW Ultra. It's 160 miles. Yeah, I'm trying to get into this race in December. That's like, you have to do 100 Ks and 100 miles just to qualify, and you have to impress the race organisers. It's like for them
to
think
boys
you're good enough.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like, so what have you done lately
to
come in my race?
Yeah, it's like...
Do these guys even run the fucking...
No, they do. That's why it's... Because they really protect...
Just some fat guy.
Yeah, there's some
like the CrossFit
that.
fucking owner.
Yeah.
Just some fat dude.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an exclusive club, and I don't think they really like young people getting into the sport because it's mostly older people that do the sport.
Isn't it?
So, yeah, I've been trying to get information out of them. I don't know. I think they just like to protect their little.
What do you think older guys are more into it?
I don't know. A lot of endurance sports, like the peak age for people in endurance sports is like 36 to like 40 kind of. Like they've just had years and years of building that training all the way up to that. And I think endurance sports it's all mental. Like they say, it's 90% mental, and then the other 10%'s in your head. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that is big in endurance sports. So I think maybe like the older you are, the more mentally strong you are. Maybe that some people get like that.
Maybe.
The more you hate your life and you just want
that's
to
what
get
I was
away from the
thinking.
kids and shit
Yeah.
like that. It's like,
Like, fuck this. I'm going to run forever.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump
Yeah.
style. Hey, just a quick questions on the marathons and the times and that. All marathons aren't the same though, are they? You know, like they're on different terrain, or do they try and
different
even
terrain.
them out? Like,
yeah,
or-
usually they'll try and be flat because marathon's like more of a time-based thing.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
so. Most of the time they are flat, but there is hard marathons where they're hilly as like Dunedin still had like 100 meters elevation gain in it, which is not much when you say it, but for a marathon was kind of hilly for that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, there's some marathons that are really hard that like they have trail marathons that they're meant to be hilly. Most trail races are going to be pretty hilly. So
Yeah. Just wondering how they work out the world record times now with the marathon, if every course is kind of different.
yeah, well, everyone loves to watch the Berlin Marathon because that's the fastest and flattest usually. So
is it? Okay.
everyone in the running world knows what the fast marathons are, so they're tuning in to see like when the big guns are going for it.
Yeah. Is it still Kenyans and things like that? Or
Yeah, they're still the best for sure. Eliud Kipchoge, he's a Kenyan guy. He just actually broke 2 hours for the marathon.
holy
Shit.
Yeah, they had like full paces behind a car and stuff, and they had like paces swapping out every 5Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
insane.
Christ.
So how fast do you reckon you could run 100 meters in?
Fuck, like 28 minutes?
100 meters.
No, I don't know, man.
Oh, it's
sprint.
probably
Full
14 or 15 seconds.
That's-
It's pretty slow, man. You know.
That's still pretty quick.
Is it?
Yeah, I reckon that's pretty quick.
I just remember at school there was it was 14 seconds or something to.
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, I got no idea, man.
Yeah.
Sub 2 hour marathon, right, is like doing a 17-second 100 meter sprint for 42 Ks.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's sprinting.
Yeah, legitimately is. Like, it's insane that they done it. Like, Nike had like, it wasn't world record sanctioned because they had the pacing car and had the paces swapping out and stuff,
Yeah.
and he could pick up drink bottles whenever he wanted and stuff like that. So it wasn't sanctioned, but he's still got the world record on an actual course in 2:01. So
He's almost there anyway.
yeah, it's like when you're at
Is
that,
that like a
tip end of
4
the
minute
spear.
mile? Like how far would a mile be?
It's not far off a 4
Not
minute
far
mile. It's
from
probably
4
like 20 seconds off a 4 minute mile.
Jesus Christ for 40 Ks.
Yeah, these guys, they're insane. Like, he's a freak.
I've seen it was a BBC show, and they had they set up a treadmill, a running thing in the middle of a square over there, and they set it up to his pace.
Yeah.
And they just got people to run on it. They're
Yeah.
like, fucking, how fast can he go? How far can he? And people couldn't even run his pace.
Yeah.
Full sprint. You know.
It's so crazy. It actually blows my mind that they can do that for 42
How can that
Ks.
body take that? There's no meat on them.
No.
You know.
Are they in the ultra game?
Nah, not really. They kind of stick to the marathon because that's where the money is. Like, the top marathoners in like Kenya, Eritrea, Ethiopia. Like, if you're the top marathoner there, you're like one of the richest in the country. Like,
So they got $5.
oh no, they're still millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah, the money's it's
But they got a culture behind it, eh? Like,
Yeah,
it's a running. It started off as a running culture. They were runners anyway.
Yeah.
There was something about running over there.
yeah, definitely. They used to like. There's one tribe over there that would chase the gazelle till the gazelle was like pretty much exhausted.
Died.
Because humans
Wow.
are like, because humans can sweat, we can like run really long distances. Like, we're one of the most efficient runners in the whole like
Really?
animal kingdom, pretty
Oh, I
much.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
because everything
Yeah.
else, Gary Griffin was going over this a
Yeah.
bit.
Was he?
Yeah, and everything else sprints, relaxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just,
But we can just go for ages.
some of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, every human can. Like, it's like in our blood. Like,
Yeah.
it's in our genes.
Like 15 Wakachangies I could probably.
As long as you don't twist your nuts, you can go forever.
They got to sort that evolution shit out. Yeah, so it's classic, isn't it? It's like when you look at the gymnasts and Eastern Europeans, they've got a really big history in circus and performance.
Yeah.
And doing gymnastic shit, and hence they're great at gymnastics, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they evidently, I was talking to my son, he was just watching the American gymnast trials, and that girl they got over there, the world champ, she's like, because when they do the trials, it's like, okay, you got a certain move, and that move's worth a certain amount of points, and how you perform that move is also, you got 2 points. And she's doing moves that no one else can do anyway, and she's perfect at them. So they've actually just stopped her from getting the points. They're like, well, no one else can fucking compete.
Yeah, that's how you change the game.
Yeah. What's
that's
there's one in Australia, in the Central Australia. It's an ultra.
Yeah, it's the West McDonald Ranges or the Larapintra Trail probably.
I don't know. Red dirt. That's
Yeah.
all. So my ex's brother-in-law, Bert, he did one. I think he had to pull out like 15 k's to go or something like that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, he trained for a long time on
Yeah.
that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's 200 and something k. That one. If you do the whole thing, they have 100 mile. I think it was on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't like long ago. I
Yeah.
thought it wasn't 200k though.
There's one that's 200
I thought it was 100
something k, but they have 100 mile, they have 100k, they have a 50k as well. I think.
All on the same
Yeah,
week
same
or
event.
whatever.
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
Maybe he went. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did the 100.
You should do one for
That's
the Nullarbor.
fucking huge.
Run the Nullarbor, man, over like a week or
Well,
some shit.
That's,
Someone
that's
just
something I want
ran
to do
from-
one day.
Yeah.
Someone just ran from Perth to
Yeah,
Sydney.
Troy.
Did they?
Yeah, I know him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's something that I'm looking at doing in
Yeah,
the next
Smack
couple of
Panda.
years, I
Really?
think. Yeah, I
Smack
wanna
Panda
do
gave
it.
him $100.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Fucking good on us.
We donated
Yeah,
to
he's
the
a legend.
cause.
He's a funny
yeah, it was,
bastard as well.
it was a good cause. It was
Mental health.
mental
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
Black Dog.
I actually,
Oh, yeah.
I was down in South Australia and I was planning to run with him when he got back, but he
Oh,
he beat me back here. Like we would have passed him in the night, and I was planning on meeting him in like Goulburn on the way back, going for a bit of a run with him, and then running back into Cronulla with him. But yeah, he beat us home. I was like, what the fuck?
He was motoring there. Like,
Yeah, he was doing
he-
like 60 k's. A
His
day or something
Instagram
like that.
was hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny. Did you see that emu thing? Where you lay on your back and like you put your legs up in the air and kick like that. And apparently emus get really like, they're like really interested by it. So they, like emus were running over to like look, and he was like filming himself with like an emu in the background and stuff. He's like kicking his legs in the air.
No,
Like,
he was
come
like,
over.
he was finding like roadkill, and he's like walking with a kangaroo paw
Yeah.
on a stick, and
Yeah, he's,
kind of going a bit loopy.
He's
like
funny, that
pretending
guy.
to be, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's something that I want to do one day for sure. That's on my list.
How many
Just run
Ks is
across
that?
Australia, 3,700 and something, 81 or something like that.
shit,
Yeah,
that's a lot of.
it's like 3 months worth of running, like at 60 k's a day.
And he beat his predicted time. Like,
I think by a couple of days, yeah. But the world record for across Australia is like 98k a day or something. Done in like
Jesus.
43 days or something like that.
Holy
It's crazy.
when did they do that?
I think it was in 2000s at some point. Yeah, there's a list on Wikipedia that I've seen of heaps of people that have done it. But yeah, that's something I definitely want to do one day. That'd be sick. Like to run across the continent, like
Yeah,
It's
such
a
a
big
big goal.
continent as well.
Yeah.
a lot of nothing out there.
And it's,
Yeah.
it's the long way. It's not like you're going from Adelaide to Darwin or something, which is still long or bloody enough.
yeah,
But I suppose at least there's a road running that way. I saw a
Yeah.
thing on. I think it's a guy. It might have been. He's from Windang or something. He's like an adventurer, and he walked. From Adelaide to Darwin. He just had a 22 with him, and tried to beat the record getting over there. And it's just there's nothing there. There's no roads or anything. Just through bush and desert, and it made a really interesting documentary because he kind of went nuts halfway through it, and he's trying to film himself, and he's kind of losing it, and then his dog eats rat poison and dies, and he's just fucking bawling his eyes out, and it's just
Oh, no.
a complete fucking mess, man. And the dingoes try and get him. He has to shoot these dingoes. It's wild. But every stop along the way, he goes like, he's trying to film himself, and he's like, I've gone mental and I can't do this. But he goes, every time I stop, I look around in the dirt and I find these flints. And I find like old fire pits from thousands of years ago, and he goes like people lived here,
Yeah.
and it kind of helped him get through it. Every single night he stopped, he found places. Yeah, it was really good. It was good view, and he gets to Darwin, there's no one there, and he's like, he's mental. He had to go to hospital for 3 months, and then he goes, I'm never doing anything. And then it was end of doco. He's laughing in the snow. He's a crazy Aussie guy, like this, and he's fucking walking across Antarctica.
Fuck. There's some
great,
fucking
isn't it?
hard people out there. Like,
Hard people, but there's never
crazy
enough
people.
for them.
Yeah,
It's like,
no.
where does it
And
end, man?
where's it going to end? Like, what do you?
Are you going to get
You're
into
saying-
triathlons or something like that? I thought.
Yeah.
Would you add something else to
I've done a triathlon at the start of the year. Definitely Ironman, something I'll get into eventually. But
Oh,
I've had this thing in mind this year, where this race that I'm doing, I'm not really that interested by this race, but it's
The Gosford one?
yeah, because it's something that I have to do to impress these event organisers. Because I want to try and get into this race called the Coast to Cozzy. It starts in Eden and finishes at the top of Mount Kosciuszko.
Wow.
So it's 246 k's, and you've got to impress these organisers enough to be like
impressive your
accepted into
time or the way you run your flamboyance.
Like your social
Impressive.
media page.
impressive the time, pretty much.
time,
But yeah, they only let like 50 people into it, 60 people. So
Okay.
So they want the best. They're
yeah,
looking at.
they kind of want
Yeah.
like they're really protective of their finishing rate. So they want people to finish the
gotta
race.
finish the
So I
race,
think
yeah.
the finish the race is like 87%. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's 2 days of running non-stop pretty much. So yeah, they're really protective of that finishing rate. So I've got to do my best to impress them. So the next 10 weeks away.
So you
That's
do
what-
160 Ks in the Gosford.
Yeah, you have to have done 100k and 160k within the year to qualify.
And then,
And then
it's
they-
240.
Yeah, 246k.
Fucking hell. They're just like jacking up the numbers.
Yeah, it's a big jump from 100 to 160 and then 160
Yeah.
to 246. But
It's
yeah,
a nice
it's-
area to run around though. It's beautiful down there.
yeah, I've spent heaps of time down in the snows and I love the snow and I love the sea as well. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
a cool link. I love the fucking South Coast so much and
Yeah,
I love the snow. So it's kind of cool to link the both together and while doing something really hard. So yeah, I think the youngest person that's ever done it's like 30 something. He's actually from Sorrel. He'd be a good guy for you to get on. But
Fuck yeah.
yeah, he's the youngest guy to ever do it. So hopefully I'm going to be the youngest this year.
Yeah,
to do
you,
it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
by a long shot.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's gonna be like tough, but that's like I'm gonna dedicate my whole life for the next like couple of months to get in that race.
What's
That's
your
all I
training
wanna
going to
do.
be like for that?
Just constant miles, pretty much. But I don't know, something like that. It's hard to really train for something that long, really. So I probably won't do any more Ks than what I'm doing right now. It'll just be like trying to get there ready mentally for something like that because I don't know, 30 hours of non-stop running it scares the shit out of me. But
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
yeah, like the 100k.
I don't even think I've stayed up for 24 hours.
A long time.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 100k distance like scared me a little bit, and I ended up doing my first 100k just by myself on a weekend because my race got cancelled last year. So I kind of knew I could do 100k's,
Yeah.
and I know I could probably get through 100 miles. It'll be tough, but I reckon I can get through it. But 246, like that scares the shit out of me. So
That's huge,
yeah.
man.
yeah, that's why I want to go. That's why I
Yeah.
want to go for it this year because it's like the perfect time. Like I can't travel. I was meant to be living in Canada right now, so and if I'm stuck here, I might as well do this race this year. That's why I need to do it this year.
What were you
so
going to do in Canada?
just live? Like I probably would have done some races over there and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Are
mostly
they-
just snowboarding and climbing.
Are they big on the ultras over there?
Yeah, that's America's like where it started pretty much. Like
Yeah.
the Western States 100's like the most famous one. Like it's up there with UTMB. Like it's one of the more famous 100-mile races.
But Canada,
Yeah, they have heaps of races
Yeah.
in Canada, and it's not far from like you can just jump down to Seattle and do a race down there or something. But yeah, they have heaps of races in America. Like that's like where the mecca is, kind of pretty
Yeah.
much for long races like that.
it's still crazy. What's your
It's
training like for, like, so you said you would, for the 100 kilometers, you did a 100-kilometer race to practice.
No, I would do like I had done 2 training blocks leading up to races that got cancelled. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste this fitness. I'm going to just go do 100 Ks by myself.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do 100K. That's like,
But
that was the goal.
to get to that far, like, what's your week kilometers?
I will, like this first week of training, I'd probably do maybe like 45, 50K. And then it just jacks up every single week. And then to the biggest mileage I'll do in a week, probably be like 130 Ks, maybe like a month out, 3 weeks out. And then like, yeah, you kind of just working your way up to your biggest week, and then your race will be like 2-3 weeks later, and then you just taper back off for
So
the race.
you're
so
running
fit.
past the 100 or whatever.
Yeah, I was doing like 130 Ks in a week.
Shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
So some days I was landscaping back then too, so I was pushing barrows all day.
The fuck?
And then I'd come home Friday arvo, run 16K, come home, eat, sleep, wake up early, run 60K the Saturday.
In the day?
Yeah.
Just one, like, straight.
Just one
straight
day, yeah,
up
60
60K.
Ks. Like I'd usually used to do from Otford to Bundine and then back, so nice and hilly as well.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday, I do a 16K run. So you're just like trying to beat your body up to the point where like you're starting to get them gains like that big week, and then you start to taper off. So yeah, I would have. There was a point where I was doing over a marathon plus every weekend for like 6, 7, 8 weeks straight, pretty much. So yeah, I'd do 43Ks, and the next week I'd do 50K, and then it'd be 55, and then I'd go back down to 40K, and then I'd come back up to 56, 58, and 60. So you're like kind of like doing this kind of, but you're still going up, and then you taper back off. So
that wall you said you hit around 32 Ks in a marathon, you go past that now pretty easy? If you're training a lot further than that, does it still happen? Or
in the marathon, it's that much of a faster pace. So
pace is the issue.
Yeah, because you're pretty much going at your maximum effort for like the whole race nearly, pretty much. Whereas in 100K, you're kind of like pacing yourself a bit more. So you don't want to you don't want to go out too hard in 100K because you'll just be battling the whole last.
And do you have that so you don't actually hit a wall, or is it you can't?
You definitely do hit a wall. It's just a different wall. Like with the marathon, it's like you kind of sweet. It's hard, but you're sweet, and then you're not. Like it's your body's like got lactic acid pumping all through it. Whereas with the 100, it's just like a dull pain all day. Yeah, and it just like crescendos up to like just being pain for the last like 30Ks. So it's like, it's a different pain, but the marathon is hard, but. Yeah, the 100K is it's a different pain.
Which do you prefer? So you've done a couple of hundreds now, so you must like the ultra stuff more than...
Yeah, I like the ultra stuff because it's seems more of an achievement to me, whereas if I didn't get the sub 3 hour marathon, I probably would have kept going for that.
Yeah, until you got it.
Yeah, it's just the next, what's the next thing for me? Pretty much, that's just the way I work, I guess. Yeah. I'm always looking for the next thing, so as soon as I get it, I want to be... what's the next thing straight away? So I just want to see how far I can push my body. I can't think of anything better than this race is in December. It's in the middle of summer, or not the middle of summer.
Yeah, I was going to ask that actually. Do you prefer running in hot or cold?
Yeah, I love just shit weather in general.
Yeah, okay,
if it's pissing down rain, I love being that dude that's out on the side of the road running, and people are I could never do that. I'd hate to be that guy. What a wanker, you know. Yeah. Or if it's 45 degrees, I'd love going out in the heat as well.
Do you really?
Yeah. Okay. I just love sweating and just feeling shit. So I hope that if I do get in this big race, I hope it's world record bloody temperatures. I want it to be hard. That's why we do these things. So hopefully it is. Hopefully I get in, and hopefully it's hot.
You're there for the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be sick to be running through the night and hallucinating and shit. Seeing the weirdest shit.
Well, we can organise that.
Yeah, you can do that with some mushrooms.
Mushrooms down here, evidently. It's quite green down there. We're looking down there for a bit of land or something at the moment because everything around here is so expensive. And I thought, maybe just go as far away as you can. Nah,
some of my mates get them around here.
Oh yeah,
you can get them around here.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, evidently. I don't know if they're getting the right ones. I've been looking. I get foraging all the time. And
you need to look for some cows.
Yeah, evidently cows are where it's at.
Yeah, I've heard that. Apparently, Courtney DeWalter's seen a leopard in a hammock or something one night.
On a run.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck? And she knew she was hallucinating, so she sees people playing trombones and stuff in the middle of the forest and faces in rocks and shit like that.
That's a strange when you mentioned a trombone. I just bought one today.
So we had when was it? New Year's resolutions. And
was that what it was?
That's what it was. And Matt said, I'm going to learn the trombone. We're
it's only taken you 6 months to buy one.
Yeah, it's taken us 7 months.
It's the first day he's got it.
Well, I forgot about it. And then you guys mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Everyone thought going to think I'm full of shit. So I got a trombone.
You got a fucking purple one.
Got a purple
one. How'd you get a purple one?
Well, trombones are really expensive, man, so I just got a plastic one. And it works just the same.
That's a kid's toy. That's not a fucking
you probably press the buttons and it plays a song
it's
on
called
it.
a P-bone. There's no buttons. It's a sliding thing. I'll play us a song before New Year's Eve, man.
You got to play the intro.
Play a song. When's the Eden run? It's before
December 5th.
You'll be thinking you're tripping out, but really,
I'll be down there dressed as a leopard, laying in a hammock, playing the trombone. We'll make it happen.
At least you don't have like serious New Year's resolutions like most people.
I had a couple. I've
yes, you got one,
I've
didn't
actually
you?
smashed through a heap of them. It was 10 books in 12 months.
That's good. That's a good one.
I
I read heaps as well.
Yeah, I'm at a 9 like 6 months in. And like one of them was like a 500 page. I was halfway through. I'm going, why did I pick this book? And it was like, you know, like minuscule
Yeah.
writing. But I ended up chilling through that.
They go quickly, eh?
Yeah, I found like once I got through about 4, I was like, fuck, this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna easily do that.
What was the other one?
Uni.
Oh, you
mean,
go to uni as well. You're actually
fucking
knocking
in
things
uni.
off.
That's
Yeah,
a big.
yeah.
That's a big one.
It's a shit one sometimes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What was the other two? Guitar. I've got 2 grades. I've got another grade to do
Yeah.
to finish that. So yeah, there's a few, but no ultras in there.
No ultras in there.
Not
Running
yet.
running isn't happening.
I don't think I wouldn't have the time.
I did feel inspired
You
the other day to
got
go
to
for a
make
run.
the time.
Yeah.
You should go tonight.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
You just got to do it.
Do
If you-
1K.
If you think about it too much, just go and do a 1K run tonight.
Okay.
in your jeans
Will you do it?
with your fucking leatheries on.
How far is 1K? Where would I
It's
go?
1,000 meters.
I'm just trying to think physically. Where would I run to and back?
Wherever.
I'd run that way because that way's too
Get
too steep.
Strava on your phone and it'll tell you.
Oh, will it?
And you can just turn around at 500 meters.
What's it called?
Strava.
Strava.
Is that accurate? Is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of accurate for the phone. Like they're better on the watches, but
So the watches are accurate.
yeah,
Are
heaps
they?
accurate. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
wow.
full GPSs in these. This is the best thing I've ever got. Mum got it for me for Christmas when I first started running. It's the best thing. Like a Garmin. Like they're on sale right now as well. At JB and stuff like that.
Okay, Strava.
Yeah, the Strava's the app, but like if you get a Garmin or a Chorus watch or something, they're so good. They make it better. You can get music on them and shit as well, and they play in your headphones and stuff. But yeah, if you want to get into running, definitely go to watch because it helps so much, and you can track it and
Yeah.
yeah, it's way better. But yeah, if you like want to start running, you just got to go and do
Just
it
gotta
straight
do
away.
it.
You can't think about it. You just got like tonight. That's why I said just go out and do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a New Year's resolution. It's like people wait for the New Year's. Like just
Yeah.
fucking do it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
they do.
I'm gonna
Like, you
give
can't
up
sleep on
cigarettes
that
tomorrow
shit.
or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I said to my mate the
give
other
them
day. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna quit this stuff eventually." And I'm like, "Just make that one your last one right now. Give me him, and I'll chuck him in the bin." Like seriously, you're just gonna keep putting it off. Like just do
Yeah.
it right now.
I
Like,
think that's where
Now's
Goggins
the-
can help a lot of people.
yeah, exactly.
Because there is no, like putting it off.
There's no bullshit. Like,
Yeah, it's just fucking right now we're going to do this.
Yeah.
No.
that's one of the
That's
things I
how-
learned when I first started reading it. Like it just like made me reflect on myself about the way I think. I'm like, it's so true. Like if you want to quit something right now, just fucking quit right now. If you want to do something, do it right now. Like
And it doesn't have to be running or
yeah, it
anything
doesn't
to
have
do
to be
with
anything
what
to
he
do
does.
with
He-
endurance sports. Yeah, it can be anything.
He's like if you're fucking working in an office and you want to improve in the office space, then fuck, do X, Y, Z. Like
yeah,
and it's
there's no time.
it's
like the present.
universal.
Yeah,
That's all. What about like so you're doing 100 Ks? Surely you're getting some chafe.
No, you can get good running pants that are like that have like built-in skins in them, and you can't even see them. And if you've got the right undies, it's sweet. But yeah, if you got the wrong undies on, definitely hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck
trouble
yeah!
can happen.
I was getting chafed up doing the 5Ks.
Yeah, especially if it's wet as well. But yeah, if you just get some like Nike,
So Marvel undies aren't the go.
definitely not.
Oh damn it!
No.
I'm forgetting new undies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah. Iron Man, was it?
No, it was like the team.
if you had Superman ones, we might have been sweet.
Maybe
Yeah, they're a
DC's
bit
probably
tighter.
better.
Yeah, DC is kind of on the nose. You know, Marvel's taken over everything, but I think DC's going to make a run.
You reckon?
Yeah, run. For
I reckon
it.
they
It's a
should
lot
just
cornier.
give it up for a bit.
Yeah, I'm a bit
They
over them
fucking-
actually.
They shouldn't put. They lost it when they bring out Superman versus Batman. Like Superman's never gonna beat. Never gonna lose to Batman.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
it's
fucking
fucking
that's
Superman.
right, Yeah.
Batman's just some rich guy in a
Yeah.
suit. Like
Yeah, but
it's
It's a
Superman.
classic thing. He's just a rich little bitch, isn't he? Batman,
Yeah,
really.
Apparently, when they bring out Superman, he didn't have kryptonite. So for like
He needed
was too
something.
boring.
for a year, yeah, he got too boring. So they're like, we're gonna have to give him something to fuck him up because he's just
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
invincible. Oh,
yeah,
that's-
legit. He can fly and like move the sun and shit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
he's not gonna lose to fucking Batman.
Batman's just a rich dude.
He's just fucking throw something at it.
Yeah,
like,
knows
so
karate. He doesn't kill anyone. Like,
I got a joke. I'm going to tell it.
all right.
And sorry. And so Superman's cruising around, wherever, Gotham City or whatever shit. He looks through this window, this high rise, and there's like Wonder Woman there, and she's like naked and with legs in the air, screaming her head off and having a great time. He goes, "What the fuck?" And he just flies past. And then the next week at the same time, he sees her again. It's the exact same thing, and he's just getting a bit freaked out. Third time it happens, he goes, "Oh fuck, I just can't handle this anymore." And so he spins around the world like, that time where he's in that movie and he made the world go backwards.
In
Where
reverse,
it almost goes that fast. He's like almost going light speed, and then he bangs into a room and like has his way over her, and he's off before she knows what's happened. And she goes, "What the fuck was that?" And the Invisible Man said, "I don't know, but it just fucked me in the ass."
I knew the joke, but I didn't know. You're like, "Oh fuck, is that it?" That's
not very. It's a bit old. But,
That's an old one, but
it's a good.
I've never.
It
heard
holds
it.
up in time.
It does. Yeah, and on that note,
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up. So,
Zach,
thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on.
It was good. Talked a lot of shit, but
It's crazy.
I don't even know what I said the past bloody hour and a half. But yeah, no, thanks for having me on. It was good.
So you'll be in Gosford in how many weeks was it?
10 weeks, so September 11th. Oh, no, I don't know how many weeks away that is, but yeah, September 11th is when the race is. But yeah, fingers crossed I can qualify for this big
Yeah,
one
man,
in
good luck
December.
with that.
With your coach.
Yep, started today, so
It's crazy you've got this far actually without any sort of coaching.
yeah, I've just been
and
winging it pretty much. But yeah, I've just been
just Google.
doing heaps of research pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got me to here, so hopefully the coach can make me the next step.
Yeah, and you're on socials.
Yep, just Zach O'Neill, Facebook, Instagram.
Follow along for the
Yep, see if I get in this race or not. See if I even finish the 100 mile. I haven't even finished the 100 mile yet, so yeah.
I'm sure he will with that
Tune
sort
in
of
to see that.
mindset that
Hopefully.
you
Unless I snap my leg in half or I die or something. I'll crawl over that finish line.
got. Yeah.
Touch that wood.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for
worries.
coming on.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks.